doing? Rodney Corn, PTA Global. What I want to do now is I want to take John Cooper, who's the owner of the gym that I work out here. We're going to go through the move observation. So I want to take this time to just walk through the move observation, and all I'm doing is using this move strategy chart. So if you want to pause this, stop this, and go print this off, the advanced course. If you're on the advanced course, if you've gone through it, then just go grab this. If you haven't gone through the advanced course, or you just want to sit back and watch it, cool, that's perfectly fine. Just go through and enjoy. I just want to walk someone actually through the move observation for you, give you some pointers, give you some tips, give you some things to look at, and just give you another exposure to someone that you can actually watch on video. So if you want to stop it, rewind it, play it back, and do things, you have the opportunity to. Just a great learning experience for you. So I'm just going to follow right quickly through the three areas that we have. So we're going to go ankle, hip, and thoracic spine if you're not familiar with this. And for each of those areas, we're going to have 3 movements. And the movements are the exact same movement in 3 planes of motion. So at the ankle, we're just going to do foot reaches in all 3 planes of motion. At the hip, we're going to do lunges in all 3 planes of motion. And at the thoracic spine, we're going to do a lunge with reaches in all 3 planes of motion. So what we want to do is keep the movements simple, so they're easy to remember and easy to go through, and then be able to watch the quality of the motion. So the key with the move observation is quality, not quantity. We're not looking to see how far the person can move and how much range of motion they have. The whole purpose of this particular strategy is to see, can someone move with good rhythm? Can they load into a motion and come back out of it? Can they hit a specific spot and then come back out of it? So to find out what their sphere of function is and what their capabilities are. That's all it's for. And the strategies, we won't get into the strategies right now, but the strategies we'll do in a separate video. What different things can I do and can I manipulate to help him move better, to help my client move better in a very simplistic fashion. What you'll find is the move is a very basic and very simple observation. We just want to see, can they do this, yes or no? If not, let's try this and see if that helps them. The idea is to get people to move better, not to try to diagnose and figure out what might be happening. And is it the joint? Is it the tissue? Is it fascia? Is it muscle? That's beyond what we need to do right now. So let's just get used to watching and observing motion, and I'm going to take John through. So I'm going to start at the ankle, and I'm going to have John with his hands on his hips. So John, what we're going to do is just with your hands on your hips, we're just going to go through a series of 9 movements. And this is basically going to act as a warm-up, and then after that, we're going to get into the workout. It'll also let me know if there's anything else that we might want to do prior to prepare you for your workout, so we don't have any tissue damage and we don't start blowing up shoulders.
Correct.
All right. So what we're going to do, John, is I'm just going to have you on your right foot, keep that knee nice and soft. And then I just want you to reach forward and come back. So as John goes through a few repetitions of these, what I want you guys to look at is, first and foremost, from a total movement standpoint, just watch it like if you're watching a basketball player dribble a ball and move to the hoop. Do they move smoothly? Is John moving smoothly into that and coming back out of it, or does it look like it's kind of hitchy? That's for you to determine. Okay? And it's going to be based upon your observation skills. And you know what the cool thing about move is if you're not precisely correct, it doesn't matter. Because what's going to happen is if you use a strategy, if you use maybe some foam roll or a mobilizer, and the cool thing about mobilizers is sometimes you don't even have to pick the right mobilizer, because a mobilizer is a total body issue, you can still get improved movement. So all we're seeing is when he moves out and comes back, how does that look? Does it look smooth, yes or no? Does it look smooth, yes or no? You can always ask your client too. One of the things I do is I grab feedback. So I ask John, I say, John, does that feel good to you? You feel smooth? So he's telling me that it doesn't feel real good. Now what I'm seeing is I see a little bit of kind of hitch and rigidity and a little bit of stiffness. So that's what I personally see. So as he goes through that, I just notice that it just feels a little bit stiff, which is telling me that as he moves, now remember, as he's moving, we're really addressing the ankle. Okay, that's the primary area as he steps forward and comes back. So it's telling me that somehow, some way, some reason, which I don't care at this particular time, I just don't have the ability to load my calf complex, which is basically part of my superficial back line and even some of the superficial front line up into the quad. I don't have the ability to load that system and then come back out of it. That's all it's telling me. And so I see that. And so that's all I'm looking for. Does it go in, come out? And then the other thing is it symmetrical? So the two big things is it smooth and rhythmical, and is it it symmetrical or not? Because if there's asymmetry, whether it's smooth, but there's asymmetry in distance, it's just telling you that one side is off versus the other side.
Helps my left.
And what I would say is I would agree that when he's doing it on his left, the left one is the one that has a little bit more difficulty. So I saw a little bit more going on his left, meaning there was less rhythm, and it looked like it was a little bit more hitchy and rigid than his right side. So neither one of them felt great to him, left side more than the other. One of the other cool things about when we get into the strategies, the mobilizers, is sometimes we just mobilize both. You don't have to, well, I gotta do more on the left. Just do both and you get the body to move, okay? So we're looking at that. Now what you can look at too is when they get there and come back, that's the key. So a lot of people can get out, but then they have a hard time getting back. So that's what will determine rhythm. Do I get there and I have a hard time getting back? And or does my arch or knee collapse? As I'm moving forward, does everything collapse and then it doesn't come back out? So it's not does it move a little bit, it's does it fall and just cave in and then it never comes out? Or does it bow out and it never comes back in? So if we get these wild deviations in the joints and they never come back to where they are, then that's something that's not real rhythmical. So something like this, that's obviously not rhythmical motion. Something like that, obviously not rhythmical motion. Okay, let's go to the side.